The banking crisis back in the headlines this morning as regulators worked the weekend to try to find a buyer for First Republic Bank. The company's stock falling about 75% last week, even after that $30 billion rescue package back in March.
First Republic Bank has been struggling to stay afloat for weeks, and now a deal to take over the embattled regional bank could come as soon as tonight. A source familiar with the matter tells me that federal regulators are racing this weekend to seize and sell First Republic.
FRC Bank. Oh, they've been working on the bailout this whole weekend. So look out, okay? Best believe it's going to be some movement. Stock was already at $100 and something, maybe 2 months ago from that bank collapse. It's the second largest bank collapse in history right now. Boys going down in the stock market world, boy. FRC Bank.
One option is for the FDIC to take over the bank and then quickly sell it to another bigger bank. At the end of last year, San Francisco-based First Republic was the 14th biggest commercial bank in the country. So how did we get here? The company's stock tumbled 75% last week after it revealed that nervous customers withdrew more than $100 billion in deposits during last month's banking crisis. In March, 11 major banks, including JP Morgan, tried to rescue First Republic with $30 billion in cash. That was not enough to reassure investors that the company's finances are sound. So if First Republic is taken over, it would be the third U.S. bank failure since March 10th, when Silicon Valley Bank's collapse sparked fears of a broader financial crisis. But top U.S. officials insist that the overall American banking system is safe and resilient.
Looking at $3. Is they going to save it? Somebody going to buy it? Is it going to go back up? Is dividends still going to be paid? There's a lot of questions going on right here with this bank collapse.
San Francisco resident Mario Molina withdrew some of his money from First Republic Bank on Friday, worried the lender could go under.
Where it is, they might close down next week.
Possibly tomorrow. According to media reports, the FDIC asked JP Morgan Chase and PNC to submit final bids to buy First Republic by Sunday. The bank's stock price plunged 80% in March, a direct result of the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. Shortly after, nearly a dozen larger banks propped up First Republic with $30 billion. Despite that infusion, the stock took another hit Friday, losing 43% of its value and closing at $3.51 a share.
No acquirer wants to buy a dead bank. Look for some kind of deal in terms of continuing deposit insurance coverage on uninsured deposits.
It's important to remember the FDIC guarantees deposits of up to $250,000. Friday, the Federal Reserve took some responsibility for the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, the second biggest bank failure in U.S. history. In a scathing report, the Fed found its own supervisors failed to take forceful enough action to address growing risks at the bank. The report also pointed to Trump-era bank reform that loosened regulations for mid-sized banks.